Right, pure grannies walking the dogs safely and that.
What happens if you stir your soup with a calculator?
Do old people have more Christmases than other people?
As rough as melted butter, you clown. We drink rusty nail water for breakfast.
Wise fools.
Hello there everyone and welcome to the Wise Fools Talks Halloween Special episode 14. I'm joined chat with Griff. How you doing, dude?
Aye, yeah, pretty sweet, man. How you going?
Yeah, I'm doing alright. Forgot to get me notes up for the subjects, but I'm doing that now. People being proud of where they're from. For me personally, I'm proud of where I'm from. I know that you're not really that bothered. Like, one of the things I wanted to touch on though was like how, if you mention like how nice you were, if you, like obviously I've been working away for a long time, like back in my earlier years. And if I sort of if I mentioned how good where I was from was and how much I like that, if they were from somewhere else, like let's say for example somewhere in Yorkshire or something, they'd instantly go on about how much better like their fucking area is and shit like that. But then if you mentioned, especially now since I've moved like to like a rougher area, and I tell people who I work with like how rough it is where I'm from, they're like, oh well, I'm from such and such. You want us 5 minutes where I'm from? We fucking drink fucking rusty nails through a spoon. We drink rusty nail water for breakfast. Like the bouncer from like the SpongeBob movie, like trying to catch who's singing the Goofy Goober song. Like, that's how they go on, dude. Which one is it, dude? You know what I mean? Is it rough where you live or is it nice? Because there's no in between. There's no nice area that's rough.
Like you didn't see like big like where you see like estates where like each house they're not connected and they've got like a pure like 2-door garage and shit like that. Like you didn't see loads of crime going on around there unless it's people coming from other neighborhoods to burgle the cunts.
Right. Like that's exactly what the case is. Do you live in a rough area or not? It's as simple as that. Was it? But you're one of them where you're not also you pop I want to be elsewhere, don't you, dude?
I couldn't give a fuck about it. Yeah, like I'm sort of proud of where I'm from in terms of like I don't know, I would hate it more if I was from anywhere else in this country. I don't know, I think I'd probably hate where I'm from no matter where I'm from, no matter what country I'm from. I'd want to be somewhere else. Like the grass is always greener, isn't it?
Aye, 100%. Well, that's why I say like that's why like where I'm from originally, now that I'm not living there anymore, like I love it even more now since I don't live there anymore. Like you don't realize what you've got until it's gone, sort of thing.
Like it's funny as fuck the way you go on to me like that with that though, because it's pure as if you've moved to like another planet or something and you're like 5 miles down the road.
I might as well have though, dude.
I don't know, it's not that different to me. Like obviously it is worse where you're living now, like in terms of the particular estates and stuff like that, but like in terms of like general crack, it's the same, you know what I mean?
Aye, and I hate the whole town though. Like even the nice areas here, like I hate being here, dude. Like I wish
like it's mad how you're pure homesick, but you could literally, if you wanted to, you could walk it.
I know, dude, but I shouldn't have to. I should just have to look out my window.
You almost can. Like it's not even that far.
I can't, dude. I can't see it. Not by natural means of man, anyways.
Nah, to me, the only nice places is like remote places, you know what I mean? Like out in the countryside and that. I don't like being in built up areas. That's my main problem. It doesn't matter what area it's in or what country it's in or whatever. I just don't like built up areas, really.
It kind of reminds us of this time when someone, like me and James were working on the roadworks. We got put with a squad, like to work on this specific task, like down the road. And then slowly but surely, everyone was getting picked off to do other things until the group was just me and James. It was fucking, right. It was perfect, right, dude? And then all of a sudden, this fucking kid comes out of nowhere and gets put with her, right? And he's whilst obviously we introduced ourselves and things like that. And he was like, one of the first questions he asked me was, have any of you been to jail? And more like, no. You could tell he was doing it so we would like ask him if he had been. But straight away, so straight away we were just like, no. And then didn't say anything else on the subject. And he was like, oh, where he is from and all that. And we told him and he was like, oh, is it meant to be rough there and all that? And I was like, well, it's, you know, it's just another place in the northeast that isn't a rich area, really. You know what I mean? Like, they're all kind of the same. Obviously, some more places are worse than others. But, you know, like, it's the northeast. It is what it is. And he was sort of like, it is kinda rough where you're from, but now where I'm from. And I was like, it is a fucking shithole. Like, he was like, no, it's not. It's not a shithole. And I'm like, are you fucking literally describing it as such a shithole, dude? You're not advocating for it?
Place to live ever.
Like, It's like you get even the postman carry knives where I'm from. Also, it's a shithole. No. You know what I mean? What is it? I'm so glad I'm not where from him. He's from. I'm sure it was like Darlington or something like that. Have you ever been there?
I've went like sort of through it. Like I spent maybe like half an hour to an hour there.
That was like me in Belgium.
Right. It kind of seemed like, I don't know, it seemed like they hadn't ever really heard of crime. Like, you know, when you go to them little towns like fucking, have you ever been to like Amble and places like that?
I think so,
Where it's just like basically a village. They've got like 3 streets and one of them's got the shops on. Like, it was pretty much like that.
Aye?
Do
you think he was just full of shit?
Well, maybe, but he's not the first person that I've heard say that it's rough, because I knew a kid from there. Like when I was about 15, 16, he was like a couple of years older, and he was like, "Oh, I'm from Darlington, it's pure rough as fuck," and that. And I pure laughed at him, me. And he was like, "Well, what?" And I was like, "It seems like a pure pussy town." Brother.
As rough as melted butter, you clown. Aye, wait, maybe that goes back to the sort of the subject that we're talking about. Like everyone like wants to big up and go on as if where it's rough, but then as soon as you call out for being a shithole, they're like, no.
Aye, right. Pure grannies walking the dogs safely and that, and fucking. People are just fucking mental, aren't they? Shit like that.
Right, dude. Right, the next thing I wanted to sort of talk about, right, is when I'm drunk, right, dude, or under the influence of sort of other things, I appreciate like other people's lives more.
Like in what sense? Like they have more value to you, or you appreciate it in the sense of that like you're jealous of their life?
Like I would never say jealous, like because I'm one of them people where like I'm not a very ambitious person, so I'm like really thankful for what I've got. You know what I mean? It's mainly just people that you would sort of overlook normally. Like if I was like drunk, by this has to be through the daytime anyways. Like I prefer getting drunk early and then sobering up before I go to bed. Like it's like, say if I'm out and about drunk, dude, and like I'll just say like a businessman and he's like carrying a briefcase and things like that, he's looking happy, you know what I mean? But like I would just not even pay attention to that had I not been drunk, you know what I mean? And like I sort of like take in the sort of buzz of the world and like the bustling streets and just sort of like watching like the world unfold before me eyes sort of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Like I tend to do that kind of shit when I'm standing waiting for the bus, like just I don't know, seeing like different people. It's weird to think about like do you ever think about like what you look like to them as well?
Yeah, dude,
because like you look different to yourself because you've known you your whole life, you know what I mean? You know everything that you've ever done, all the good shit, all the bad shit, all the boring shit, all the fun shit. They haven't got a clue, you know what I mean? They're just standing next to you waiting for the bus or sitting next to you in the bar or whatever. I always wonder all the time like what, because you make an image of this person, like you see a person and you're like, right, they probably do this kind of job and fucking all of that kind of thing, live in such and such a house. Like I kind of wonder what people think of me in that way, you know what I mean?
I'm sort of glad I don't know as well though.
I say, man.
Like that's why like I always sort of like laugh about people who want to be able to read people's minds as a superpower, because someone like they'll just be walking down the street and someone be like, look at this fucking daft cunt in the head, and they'll be like, you think I'm a daft cunt? Like, you'd just be fighting everyone.
Proper.
I'm so glad I can't read other people's minds as well. Like people can't read my mind, because if they could, like I'd get fucking punched all over all the time.
Pure publicly executed and that.
Aye, right, they'll bring back the death penalty just for me, dude. It sort of reminds us of a story I've got. I was working night shift on the refurbishment of a shop called TK Maxx, right? I think that's what it's called.
TK Maxx. I've never understood, like, it seems to be a clothes shop, but then they sell like pots and pans and that as well. What is it? Like, what's the crack? I don't understand.
That's like Aldi though. Everyone thinks Aldi is a food shop, but they've got that aisle that sells fucking random shit.
Aye, true, aye. But I've never seen nothing else in there. Like, I could understand if it was like, you know, like John Lewis, where they've got like a floor for clothes and a floor for like furniture and a floor for whatever. Aye, or Phoenix, aye. I could understand if it was like that, but I've only ever seen clothing and pots and pans in there. Like, I've never seen nothing else.
Yeah, like not even like a wooden spoon or a fucking microwave or something. Like, where's the cut-off point? Like, either you sell everything or not.
There was wooden spoons, basically just like cookware, you know what I mean?
Crockery.
Aye, like you can get your plates and your cutlery and your fucking bacon trays and that there, and also get yourself a pair of flip-flops and shorts and that.
But you couldn't buy a calculator or something.
No, unless you can cook with that calculator, they're not fucking interested, or unless you can wear it.
What happens if you stir your soup with a calculator? Would you go mad and ask the manager?
Aye, proper.
But anyways, I was working there, right, on a refurbishment. So the shop was open like during the day, and then we would carry out our work during on a night shift. And at the time, I didn't drive, and neither did one of the lads I was working with, George, who I'm still in touch with. I met him on that job. I'm still in touch with him to this day. In fact, you met him, the guy from Manchester, Heaven Metty.
I remember.
It was him. He's a cool dude. Like, basically, none of with our agency lads, like, could drive. So, basically, when our shift finished, it was like an hour and 10 minutes for the first metro. We had like a 24-hour Tesco next to it. So, we would, after the shift every day, you've got an hour out the kill. You're going to go there. We're going to get cans. At the time, I used to smoke, so I was smoking a couple of Zuntes. Like, in the meantime, there was this fucking kid called Tony on one day was like, it was like the last night or something, so we're gonna get like proper fucked up and like on the before the metro, so we're like doubled with alcohol consumption and smoked twice as much. There was this kid there called Tony, and he spoke canny mad, like he spoke a bit like this is how he smoked. The first metro was pulling up, which we would always sort of get there 10 minutes before the first metro, but since we're like doubled the amount what we're drinking, we're like getting there like sort of nearly jogging for the metro pulling up. And like as the metro was pulling up, or like pure like downing with cans and things like that, and like he just not long opened one, so he was like bringing it on the metro, and we were all laughing because the time of day it was like literally the first metro, so the only people that were on that metro was people going to work, or else why else would you get the first ever metro sort of thing? Was it? We were all laughing because he looks like he's drinking before he goes to work sort of thing, rather than he's just finished a shift. And the more we were laughing at him, the more he was trying to like defend himself and speak out loud against it that he's drinking. And then the more he done that was like the more we're laughing at him, and he was like, I've just finished work, there's nothing wrong with drinking a can after you finish work.
But just making himself seem more like a raving alcoholic.
Like more like a rage alcoholic cunt. Proper. And he was saying, I've just finished, I've been on night shift. We were dying laughing at him. But he was drawing more attention to himself by doing so, dude. And since he was hard to understand, he looked like anyways. And bearing in mind he had a bit of drink and a bit of smoke, it made it even worse on himself. So he just looked like a rambling fucking drug addict on his way to fucking shout rag and bone out of a fucking back alley looking for scrap. That's what he looked like, dude. It was funny as fuck. We were dying laughing.
They shout out the fans like
AI rag and bone, but I'm sure I've heard them saying something else as well.
But do you not know what it is? Because I've heard them saying something, but it doesn't fit. Because it honestly, look, when I used to live at my ma's, like they used to come around on a morning and it fucking used to wake us up every time. But it sounded like he was shouting mayonnaise, and I'm like, why are you shouting mayonnaise at fucking 6 in the morning?
Like he used to do it so early, didn't he? He used to, do you know when you've got that guy with like the top hat on, right, dude? And like he sort of walks in front of the funeral car. They were like that, but for scrapping, they used to scream something. And I remember being a kid on a Sunday and looking out the window going, are you fucking mental? Because I didn't understand what was going on.
I used to get raging at him as well, shouting out the window at him and that. But it's like, why do it so early, you know what I mean? Because like, if I've got a washing machine I need rid of, I'm not going to immediately get up and do it at 6 in the fucking morning when he comes shouting, you know what I mean? Like, come around at like 5.
It's
like
so counterproductive, dude.
Proper.
Like, because even if I have scrap, I'm not going to give it to him now.
Like, I'll go and fucking give him a scrap, fucking waking me up in the morning.
Right, dude.
What's it called? It's just, it'll baffle us for the rest of my life what the fuck he was saying, because he definitely wasn't shouting mayonnaise, but that's the only thing that I can think that it sounded like. It was definitely, the vowels were definitely like A-O-A, but I just cannot fucking think what it would have been.
It's like, I don't know if you remember it, but there was this show called Shaolin Showdown on Cartoon Network when I was a kid, and they used to
the little monk that used to walk on his fingers.
Before a fight they would go Kong Yi Kompai or something like that, and I thought that's what they were shouting, and I'm like, it's like shouting, like it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Cartoon Network's showing things from the 80s pretty much, like they're not showing Shaolin Showdown at this time. So So, like, is that why they're called scrap men? Because they wanted to was like a Shaolin scrap, you know what I mean?
Going around offering people fucking monk fights in the fucking early morning and that.
Like Shaolin scrap men and that. Like, imagine if you were like a fucking kung fu expert, but you are a scrap man, dude. Like, offer people or like fights to the death over fucking broken washing machines and shit.
I don't know how many people would take you up on it, like, even if you were just a regular guy, a regular scrap man, like, oh, are you getting rid of this washing machine? No, I'll fight you to the death for it.
How about I don't, but I also keep me washing machine?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like, it doesn't seem like a good deal, really, for the customer.
Do you reckon if there is like any like fucking Shaolin scrap men that like they're disappointed that that never happens, even though they've got absolutely no right to expect that to happen?
I probably, because you'd have to, like, if you've got the power, you want to use it. You know what I mean?
What would be the ideal job for like a kung fu expert or like a Shaolin monk to do in our country in during our time period?
Obviously excluding like martial arts instructors and senseis and that.
Like it's got to be like a postman, for example.
Probably like a bailiff or something, a debt collector.
I feel like they're too honourable to do such a shithouse job.
Aye, true, aye.
I was joking when I said postman. I was trying to just say like run-of-the-mill jobs, but do you not reckon they could like proper ninja store them? Like, so would that not be a good job? So there could be like
you could actually,
letterboxes. That would be a good one.
There's a bit of the fucking The Simpsons where Bart gets a job hanging restaurant menus on door handles and that. And he has to be a pure ninja because if you get caught putting them on, people just scrap them. You know what I mean? You got to get them all on without being seen. And if you're a postman, judo chop the unruly dogs, proper dude.
Aye, right. Or eat them.
Aye, or both.
Defeat it and then eat it.
Exactly. Aye.
Dude, that
judo
rhymes.
chop, eat dog chop. I thought that's why you said it.
No, like defeat it, then eat it.
I got the rhyme, but I thought that was why you said it like that. I thought you knew it rhymed like before you said it.
Oh no, I thought you were saying that it was judo chop was me rhyme, and I'm saying nah, dude. Like, but I didn't even mean about the rhyme. I love it when that happens, though, dudes. I feel like fucking Ghostface Killer from Wu-Tang Clan when that happens.
Right.
This is one of yours, dude. Them baths for old people.
All right, I didn't want to like give too much away when I put the subject in, right? But like, hey, I've been sitting there like watching. This would have been a good subject when we're on about daytime TV, actually.
Yeah.
But when you're watching shit TV in the daytime, it's usually old people that are watching TV at that daytime. So there's pure adverts for like health insurance and funeral care and all this shit.
Like Sun Life over 50 plan and that.
Aye, and fucking get a free Parker pen.
Who
But
gives
there's
a
them
shit?
bats as well. Well, old people, but like.
Like, can you imagine being an old person in another sort of life insurance offering you a pen? Like, imagine that being like the defining thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, dude?
It's a pretty shit bonus, isn't it?
You would just buy one if you are that into it, dude. Because old people don't spend the money, but when they do, it's on just little trinkets that they'll enjoy. And I feel like a pen falls into that category really fucking well.
It is funny as fuck.
Like, imagine being like, oh, like, I don't know which one to go with. Like, this one, like, you know, that had like a sprucey coffin and the thing, but then I'll be dead, so I'll not even know. But this one, it's a pen that I can enjoy in life. You know what I mean? Imagine all the birthday cards from your 100 great grandkids I can write this. In fact, dude, that's quite clever marketing. Is that what it is? Because old people write more Christmas cards than anyone else.
Do old people have more Christmases than other people?
Well, they've experienced more, but however, you meet more people to write cards for, and you've got
well,
more like
yeah,
grandkids. Like grandkids,
True,
so do you reckon that's what it is? Do you reckon
Maybe,
that's why the pen is the trinket that lures them into the Sun Life over 50 plan?
It must be, dude. I shrubs a stay in that pen would probably last you the rest of your life. But the crazy thing is if I got one, it'd probably last me the rest of my life, and I'm not even that old. You know, it's wasted on them. Such a long-lasting pen. Get them a fucking Bic. You know what I mean? Never mind the expensive Parker pens.
I don't know. Maybe it's like just do it old school with like charcoal and a fucking duck feather and shit, dude. That's all they fucking need.
Fucking squid ink and that.
Oh, 1 second. I just need to nip to the kitchen and milk a squid. I've got a fucking birthday card to write.
Milk a squid.
Chisel on a stone tablet.
Dude, imagine the postage on that, on them big, like, fucking things.
Aye, right.
And they'd only put a check for a fiver in, like, they'd spend like 50 quid on postage because it's heavy as fuck, and then there'd be a check for a fiver in for your birthday.
The logistics alone is a fucking nightmare.
I used to hate getting checks, mate. That's the only time I ever had them is from elderly relatives in birthday cards. Like.
I've never ever had one.
Aye, they're a pain in the arse, dude, because it's like, oh yes, I've got money. Oh no, I don't, because I actually need to go to the bank and give it to them, and then it'll take fucking days.
Well,
like,
isn't that the whole point in money? Because the promise to pay someone a set amount in the bank. Isn't that why money was invented? Like, because money isn't actually money, it's the promise to give you money. So,
yeah,
but
so
you
I guess
having that
like
gives
a
it
promise of a
value.
promise.
Anna,
It's like, I promise to give you an IOU note one day.
I promise to one day maybe pay you. Because checks can bounce, can't they?
Like if you didn't have enough money in the account that it's coming out of.
Right.
But
anyways,
anyway,
dude, the baths.
Point about the baths, have you seen them where it's like, it's a bath, but it's got like a, because they're old and they can't like get the leg over the side of the bath anymore, it's got like a door in.
Nah, dude, but I really want to say this.
Like it's got, I'll show you it afterwards, but there's like a sort of door in the side of the bath, right? And I sort of like, seeing that advert as a kid, I just sort of like took it for granted, and it was only recently when I seen one that I realised you're gonna have to like get naked, open the door of the bath, get in, sit down, close the door of the bath, and then fill the bath up while you're in it. Have your wash and everything, and then pull the plug out and let it drain while you're still in it.
What? Could you not? Because you can't open the fucking door, dude, when it's full.
Exactly, dude. And it never occurred to us as a kid, but now I'm like, that's mad. Like, you'd never imagine doing that now as a fully able-bodied person, going in and sitting in the bath while it's filling up, dude. I wouldn't fucking dare.
Imagine, dude, making something that would normally take 10-15 minutes take an hour plus to the people where time is more valuable than ever.
Aye, right. Like every second count. But it's just the fact that you've got to, because it's freezing when you get out the bath, innit? When you're sitting there all wet and the air's on you.
Aye, dude. And also, like, it's either too hot or too cold if you go in a bath as it's running.
Like, you got to leave it for like a bit. Bob's saying you just described my childhood, and I'm wondering which part do you mean, Bob? Like, did you have to sit in the bath while it's filling up? Because that's weird if you did. No one else had that in their childhood, I don't
like,
think.
I perhaps had a bath sink as a kid.
Aye,
did you ever have a bath in the sink, dude?
Aye, I think every kid probably did, but I can't obviously remember, but I'm presuming that the sink was filled up before I was placed in it, and not just running the tap right on me fucking body.
Aye, right, dude. Like, that was proper nostalgia, because I remember as a kid, I used to like get a bath in the sink, and me auntie used to come around all the time, and there was sort of like, if I looked out in the back garden, like, because I used to live in a different place when I was like a proper baby. Like, we moved into that house because of Chloe getting born. Was it like, and there was this sort of like in the back garden, there was like a gap between the two houses, and like when I was in the kitchen sink getting a bath, I used to look out to like in between the gaps, cause I could used to see me mum's sister, me auntie, like coming to see her, and I remember me like my eyes being like fixated on like that.
That's mad, that.
But it's mad, cause I never ever put my bin in a sink.
Yeah, well, you get them like little tubs now, don't you?
Aye,
Or,
but I
like,
don't even think I used them. I think I had the thing
Yeah.
to keep her head out the water and then like give her a bath.
Or did you just run it in the Pratter bath but dead shallow?
Aye.
I mean, that makes the most sense, like.
Aye, right, like I don't understand the purpose of a sink, like a bath sink. I'm kind of glad I'd had them though, because it's, I mean, we're talking about it right now, you know what I mean?
Well, I'm thinking about it now though, right? Like, if you've got a container that's like this big, it's going to take less water to get it to the depth of like something that's like the full size of a bath. Like, you could save water doing it in the sink. Like, you'd be using probably half as much, if not less. But yeah, you get that. You see them thingies that I remember when my cousin was born. I was round. He had like a plastic sort of like it was a specific tub like for washing a young baby in. You know what I mean?
Do you know
But
what's
yeah,
mad, right? I hate how tiny my bath is, because I prefer a shower, dude. I think that's one of the factors, you know, if it was like a bit wider and if I could lie down in a bath and fully submerge myself, I'd probably be more for it.
Aye, same.
But also, one thing I don't like about baths is, right, dude, is technically you're like laying in your full filth, like any like filth that comes off your body. You know what I mean? You're like laying in it. I'm kind of glad I just don't have baths anyways.
Same, like I prefer like a shower, and if, like for many reasons logistically, but like I do enjoy a bath, but it's sort of like it's more to chill out than to get clean, I think. But I haven't been able to fit comfortably in a bath for fucking years.
Aye, dude, you're like proper tall. Like I'm just under 6 foot. I think I'm 5'10". Like I've never had like a conclusive like result. It like it varies through tape measures and shit. So
Yeah.
I'm just going for the very worst. So I'm not overselling me height, which is 5'10", like the minimum I've ever had. I just go with that. I can imagine it's been a nightmare for you, like fucking in the bath. Like washing your upper body is a nightmare in the bath because you've got to like proper like crumple, like fold over your legs and shit to fucking get your body on that like submerged, dude. Fucking bullshit.
Exactly. It's even worse from it. Like I'm pretty, like if I want to get the water like pure up to me neck and that, I've got to have me fucking arse crack over the plug hole. Like,
Right, dude. They're just shit. I have baths only when I'm ill. It very rarely helps. I think it's just a placebo. I've got like a mind that like if you have a bath when you're ill, like it sorts you out, but fucking probably doesn't, dude.
well, if it's one of them illnesses that you can kind of sweat out and your bath's hot enough, then it could be a bit of some benefit.
Like my problem is though, like I feel okay while I'm in the bath and then I get out and I'm like, oh, back to normal. So I might as well have just felt that way anyways. You know
I hate
what
it
I mean?
when you like get a bath or a shower in the winter and you get out and it's pure freezing, like because you're all wet and that. Like
Aye.
it get dry fast as fuck in the winter.
Aye, right, dude. Them people that go cave crawling, do you know like when they've like they squeeze through like stupidly tiny gaps and shit like that, dude?
Aye.
What's your thoughts on that, dude?
I wouldn't dare me. I'd be too paranoid that I'd end up one of them people that's just stuck there for forever, like beyond the rest of your life.
My initial like sort of reaction to that is how is that fun? Oh, I hate to be one of them people, right? Because a lot of people would find my hobbies like what the fuck's the point in that sort of thing, right? Like how is that fun? Like how do you get like everyone says, oh, it's like an adrenaline rush. Like you're going what like 0.1 mile an hour if that. So how's there adrenaline in there? Like the only adrenaline involved is the fact that you could be stuck there forever and die.
Yeah, exactly, dude. Like it would be much simpler if you just played Russian roulette. Like if that's the kind of rush you're after.
Aye,
You know what I mean?
100%, dude.
Like I'd probably rather that as well. Like I'd be less freaked out playing Russian roulette than I would be like crawling through this tight as fuck space, wiggling like a fucking slug.
I would absolutely hate it. Like I would you've hit a perfect example there. I would rather play Russian roulette and fucking if someone kidnapped me and went right, play Russian roulette or fucking go cave diving and do all that mad chaga. Russian roulette, because at least I'd not even know if I was dead or not, if I lose or not there. Like if I'm stuck and I can't move, like I've got to either starve or die of thirst. And how fucking long can that take? It's the worst way to die.
Like just slow as fuck, just like knowing it's coming but not knowing when. It's a nightmare. Like I'd probably rather stick me face in a fucking jet engine or something. Like,
Oh, 100%, dude. I would absolutely hate that. I would hate to do that, dude. And like I say, it's like, do you know what it is though, dude? There's literally zero chance of rescue nearly.
yeah, exactly. And like when you call for rescue, you're just endangering the rescuers' lives as well.
Exactly. Like if you're like a mountain rescuer, maybe they do some sort of training to do that, but these people that do these hobbies are pushing the boundaries of what you can fit in and what you can't do. Plus, they've got literally no kit on the back and things like that. So if you do this sport and you call for rescue, you're a selfish fucking prick if you do that. Because these people with all the equipment might get stuck at an earlier stage to you. If people are into what they're into, I'm not going to tell them to stop doing it, but I tell you what, I hope they expect no rescue at all.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm sure there has been multiple cases where people have gone in to rescue someone and then they've died themselves as well. I just didn't see the point in the actual hobby itself. Like it's just a fucking hole in the ground. Like what are you expecting to find down there? Some fucking lost pirate treasure or something?
I know, dude. If it wasn't for like electronic torches, you wouldn't be able to fucking see the cunt.
Exactly. Aye.
Some things are dark because they don't intend to be seen.
Yeah.
You know what what I
Aye.
mean? Like, just fucking leave it alone. Like, fair enough. Do you know what is fair enough? It's like sending a drone in to have a look and be curious to see what's down there because you might find some cool stuff. That's fine. But I tell you what, I'm not squeezing through knee gaps and risking getting caught fucking doing that shit, dude. Fuck that.
Like cool stuff, like what though even? Like
Well, exactly, because if I was a pirate, I'd hide me treasure somewhere where I could easily access, but people would not be able to find. You know, pirates are going to be like pure tanked up a room, squeezing through these places, getting these swashbuckler swords stuck on things. Pirates don't do that shit, dude. So what the fuck are you looking for in there?
exactly. Like the best thing I could hope to find going into a cave like that would be like some kind of like mystical underground fucking environment, you know what I mean? With its own grass and trees and shit like that.
Aye.
But like the places where people are going in these caves don't even have grass and trees on the fucking surface, so you know for a fact it's not going to be down underground.
Aye, exactly. And for them things to exist, I have to have a source of sunlight. So there would be a more obvious route to that destination from where the sun's getting in.
Exactly, aye.
So the only thing that can inspire these people to do it is because it's a skill. It is skill. And also the fact that you could quite easily die doing it. Like maybe try like jumping off things instead, dude.
Aye, exactly. I would much rather jump off things like bungee jumping or skydiving or whatever.
Aye.
I've read enough Lovecraft to know not to go looking for hidden stuff on the ground. Exactly, you might find something you fucking wish you never found, you know what I mean?
Exactly, or maybe it's like The Mask or something. Do you know The Mask, what Jim Carrey done?
Oh, aye.
I mean, it was pretty comical, but it was a bad thing to the guy wearing the mask. Like,
I mean, I haven't seen it since I was a kid, so I only remember it with the sort of kid's mindset, but like, it seemed pretty fun to me. I'd have a shot of it, like.
I think I would do.
Did you see that one of this guy? There was a story that had us pretty intrigued about it, actually. Fucking Kenny Vici was called, right? Used to go out and do all these hikes through these like mountains and canyons and all this shit, right? He reckoned he came across this cave that was like shaped like an M, and like he sort of like went near it, and like as he was going in, like you could feel like his whole body like vibrating, right? And
Do you reckon with it being an M, it's where like Metro Ken from the time we are Metro system works?
aye, right.
That's where he does his broadcasts. Hi, Metro Ken here.
That's why the quality's pure shit over the tannoy.
Aye, right.
But I fucking reckons he went into this cave, and this is all just like on YouTube comments on another video that he's saying this shit, and like everyone's telling like, oh, don't go back there, it's fucking like it's bad crack and that, and other people are saying like, yeah, go back there, because he was saying like he fucking like he was going in and then like just had this pure urge like, that he had to like turn around and leave like immediately. So he's like, right, I'll come back. Like, he's like, right, I'll come back like with a fucking like with a handgun and sort of go looking for it. And he like took some videos like hiking out there, but couldn't find the cave. Like I think there was like maybe 2 videos he put up, and then fucking just was never heard from again.
Aye.
Just like disappeared out of nowhere. But there was, I can't remember exactly what the crack was, but there was something to do with like his truck was like nowhere near where it was parked when he started hiking, because he like at the start of the video he's like, oh, I've walked up this way and my truck's over there, I've got some beers for when I get back to it and all this. And then fucking like 2 weeks later or something, it was like in some car park or some shop or something, like a town over or 2 towns over or something like that.
Right.
Like I could be wrong on the details there, but it was weird. Like,
I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'll get a little buzz over explaining unexplained things, right? I think he went back to his truck, he drank them beers, started drink driving like a fucking legend, parked his car and then some truck, and then thought, you know what it is? I've seen this fucking amazing cave, dude. It's opened a new opportunity and it's given me another outlook on life. I'm just gonna fucking abandon everything I once knew and start a new life. As he was drinking his last can like this, he just went like this, right? Anyway, and fuck it. This is how it's gonna fucking be, dude. And I resonate with that, dude. I get it all the time. I just don't have the balls to do it.
it's a mad story. Like, I'd recommend looking into it. Like, if you're into the fucking thing, there's a fair few conspiracies around it as well, because it's like I think it's right between Area 51 and Nellis Air Force Base.
Problem with me with conspiracies is, right, there's plenty things that the government allow us to know that I'm scared of. The last thing I need in my life is more fear.
But what if the stuff that they're telling you now that you're scared of isn't real, and the stuff that they're not telling you is? but you'd be even more scared of that, or less scared of that. I don't know, but maybe that's the case.
I think I'll always be afraid of moths. In fact, if they're like a man-made government fabrication, I'd be even more afraid of them. Like, what they're trying to terrify us with moths for? Like, what's the purpose of this? Like, I'm a fucking taxpayer. Like, I pay me tax. What more do you want from us? You know what I mean? My tax should go into eradicating moths.
I reckon they work for the fucking electric companies now you mention it. Fucking coming around and checking how much electric you use and checking your light bulbs and that.
Aye, right, dude. If you've got a massive grow crop on, the moths are going to be the first to grass you. If moths could grass, mate, I think we've done it. Because the government don't make money off the fucking cannabis industry, dude. If there's going to be a creature that grasses on you for growing cannabis, it's a moth, dude.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think we're fucking onto something, yeah, dude. If that's a man-made fabrication, right, dude, I think moths are grassing people where people are growing cannabis, dude.
I think we're definitely onto it. Like, there's no other explanation for why they exist. Because what do? They don't serve a purpose. Like, bees, pollinate flowers and all that kind of shit. What the fuck do
bees
moths
are
do?
cool as so. I'm so glad we've come up with this theory, right? Because I am no longer afraid of moths. I will fight every moth I come across, dude.
Aye, right, dude.
And I'm still sort of afraid of them, but the courage I've endured by them simple being like a grass is outweighed me fear to them. So
yeah, they've got to be taken out.
if there's a moth watching this fucking live stream, next time I see you, you're fucking getting it, mate. You're grass. You fucking grass. People just want to smoke and go, I don't even smoke anymore, but I will defend the rights of the people that want to do so, dude. And it's got to be grown. You know what I mean? There's no artificial way of doing it. And even if there was, that's a bad thing. We want to be able to grow it. And if you're a fucking moth and you're grassing up grows, mate, you fucking watch what happens to you now. Every time I see a moth, you're getting punched all over.
Fucking too right, dude. Like,
So,
I've not been scared of them, but they annoy the fucking tits off us, like.
I was absolutely devastated every time I see one, dude.
Aye, right. I remember like the times around mine. Like, it's so out of character to say you're that scared, you know what I mean? Because you come across as like you didn't give a fuck about like nothing would scare you. Like, you could fucking face a fucking bear with like shotguns for paws and that and fucking still be sound. But
like,
a moth comes in and you're out the fucking room in a shot. Like, I've never seen them move so fast.
It's because they've got the audacity to be a bat but not be a bat. Like, who the fuck do they think they are? And what is the purpose of them? But we've obviously uncovered the purpose. It's a first. You heard it here, wise school style. There, he had to grass up where the grows are going on to the polis. Simple as that. And I tell you what, right? I'm so glad because I would rather have fought a bear than a moth. But now, just letting all the bears know yous are safe now, because I'm now going to fight every moth I see.
Right. Unless they start snitching on the opium poppies and that.
Well, like, they can grass that shit up. Like, I'm against that.
No, I was just saying for fucking like escalating the situation because the bear's like more, a higher tier of animal than a moth.
Yeah, would probably take heroin or something to fucking interest a bear. In fact, maybe that's the solution. If we give bears heroin, then maybe they won't be so fucking violent. We're too busy saying that actually, no, that would make them more violent because you've got money. And bears have no way of making money, and you need money for heroin. So, so bears will be fucking trying to mug every motherfucker.
Wouldn't be able to get any more. Sure, the first time's free, but the next time's gonna charge you. You see this fucking bear appear like as like a prostitute on the street corner and that, trying to get some money for some fucking smack.
I don't think a bear would whore itself out for a fucking smack, dude. I reckon it would instantly just try take everything that way you've got.
After a while, that might stop working, you know what I mean?
Or maybe bears would have to sell drugs they're not interested in anymore to pay for the heroin, because that happens quite a lot. Or maybe they'll sell like fucking other like drugs that like aren't as hardcore as smack, so they'll then not they'll not get high on their own supply because they need something more. So then they'll sell that and then use the money to fund the heroin addiction. That's the last thing we fucking need. I know there was something called cocaine bear. I don't know what it is, but last thing we need is a fucking heroin bear, dude.
Aye. It was one of them things, like, I obviously never went and seen the film, but like, I seen from the trailers, and that was like based on a true story, and it's like, I know for a fact that's gonna be like over dramatized as fuck, and like none of the shit in the film actually happened, other than that once there was a bear, and at the same time in the same location there was a portion of cocaine. That's probably the only true part.
I knew for a fine fact by watching that I will not see a bear sniffing a line of cocaine, therefore I'm not interested.
Well, I think in the film, like, it eats like a whole brick, like some smugglers like parachute some coke out, and it goes into the forest and the bear eats it or something like that. This is what I'm assuming from the trailer, and it eats like a brick of cocaine and goes on a pure rampage. But like, I don't think that happened. I think maybe a bear was once in the same country as some cocaine, perhaps, in real life.
Right, dude. Celebrities we like, dude. What are some celebrities that you like, dude?
I like Billy West and John DiMaggio.
I know neither of them dudes.
The easiest ones to tell you would probably be Fry and Bender from Futurama, but they've done countless others.
For me, like, my most favorite celebrity, dude, that I like is Keanu Reeves. He's just such a fucking cool dude, man. It's weird because it wasn't until I was doing me notes for this and I googled him so I could spell his name right on me notes. And he's not actually American, he's Canadian, dude. I didn't know that. He just seems like such a like a down to earth, like cool as fuck dude. Like he used to ride like the American version of the Metro and stuff. And he's really fucking good at what he does as well.
I love how one of your things that you love him for is that he used to ride the Metro.
Nah, dude, that's cool though. That's cool of him. Like, cause a lot of people, like, cause I sort of think that's beneath me now.
Well, I suppose.
And it's not. You know what I mean? So for like someone who proper has every sort of mean to not ever do that again in his life and still do it, dude, I respect him for it.
Oh, like he still does it now?
But no, he did it as a famous guy for sure. There's a video of him. But I'm sure it was like the New York subway, which was like the Metro minus a million.
I thought you meant just like when he was a kid, like before he was famous and that he used to ride the Metro, and I was like, why is that a big deal?
Nah, dude, nah, he done it. I was like a famous guy, like definitely after the Matrix trilogy had happened.
That's more fair enough that you'd. But even still, like, it's funny that like it wouldn't be a big deal for anyone other than a celebrity, like, because people do that shit all the time. But
and
like,
celebrities make it apparent that it's beneath them. I sort of understand where they're saying because they get bothered all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, I definitely.
But like, I respect him for that because he's not bothered about people noticing him, and he'll speak to them for it. Because he's not going to be a cock to them. Like if even like I know fucking for a fact Keanu Reeves would never be an arsehole to anybody unless they deserved it. But he's willing to fucking put himself in a position where he might encounter someone to be an arsehole to him, and for him to fucking punch him. Like, you know what I mean? Whereas a lot of celebrities feel like that shit's beneath them. You know what I mean, dude?
I sort of get the whole thing about not wanting to be bothered as well, because like I don't want to be bothered when I go out either, and I'm not even famous. Like, I'm like the least famous person in the world. Like, the only people bothering me is like people wanting you to sign up for charities and that in the street.
A TV license, fucking dudes. By the way, if there's anyone in this chat that's on the TV license, go fuck yourself.
Right.
Your
Never
license.
pay for that shit, mate.
Nah, fuck that shit, dude. I just told him. Do you know what it is? You need buzzed in to get him where I live, dude. Like, do you think I'm gonna buzz? Do you think I'm gonna go, hello, who's this? Oh, it's a TV license. Oh, I'll buzz you in. You're not getting buzzed in, you little idiot. What you gonna do is scale the walls. You know what I mean? And even then, I'm ready for that shit.
For those that don't know, Nathan lives in a pure mansion. Like, he's got like acres of land, and he has to like buzz people in from the front gate, and it still takes him about half an hour to walk up to the door.
Yeah, it's your responsibility to walk to my door if you want to visit us. Unless like I pure invited you know what I mean? Then perhaps I'll come see you at the gate.
Come pick you up.
As soon as someone's like, oh yeah, it's a TV license, I'll be like, I'll just fucking laugh at it. I'll just fucking go, haha, fucking knee buller. What you gonna do? Scale the walls? Ready for that knee buller? I'll just press the second buzzer and I'll go, must have the Rohirrim. I mean, me allies in Rohan. You know what I mean? And do you know what's mad? You don't have to worry about cavalry because I've never seen a TV license bailiff ride a horse. And I don't think there's such a thing. And even if they can, it's just riding out to pure leisure.
The type of people you see as bailiffs, I can't imagine them ever riding a horse. Like,
I can imagine them
Like-
riding a dick though, fucking arseholes.
Fucking right.
But other than that, you know, it's fucking, it is pretty sweet. Apart from when the TV license or fucking send you letters and shit like that. It's like, what tree had to die for this filth?
Yeah, nah.
You know what I mean,
It's
dude?
stupid as fuck.
Like, just for the people who are not from the United Kingdom that are watching this, either in the edit or live in the chat, right? The TV license only funds one broadcasting company, and that's the BBC. So even if you own a TV and you watch nothing but Channel 4 or ITV, like, you've got to have a license just to have a screen in your house. Like, and it goes to the BBC. So even if you don't watch this shit, and do you know what it is? I'd respect it more if it didn't have adverts, but they fucking do, so they're getting ad revenue. The same as every other channel, you've got to do what you've got to do. They've got adverts and just normal people. If you want to own a fucking if you want to own a screen in the United Kingdom, you need to give the BBC money. You know what I mean? Fuck off.
Exactly. It's a fucking piss take. I wouldn't dare me ever.
Exactly. You're a fucking dickhead, dude. Everyone should just not pay the cunt, because, by the way, they're letting prisoners out early because haven't got enough space for them. Are you going to chuck everyone who doesn't pay a TV license into fucking jail? Fuck off.
Exactly.
You're letting literal fucking actual criminals out, man. You know what I mean?
Like, I feel like it's a fairly unenforceable law, because it's like, oh, pay, I don't know how much it is, but let's, for example, say it's a tenner a month, and like, oh, pay with a tenner a month, and I'm like, nah, fuck off. And then they're like, right, well, we're going to fine you like 100 quid. It's like, well, I'm not going to fucking pay that either.
Well, exactly.
Like, welcome in, by the way, Rusty. How's it going, dude?
Ah, nice one.
Well, I
Welcome in,
walked
dude.
into here. Just to fucking rant about the fucking state of the TV license. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then, like, because I know that you're relatively close to us, so, like, I hope you don't pay it either. Like, fuck them.
I mean, I think he's slightly closer than Shrubs, maybe, but he's still Australian.
Oh shit, I was getting him mixed up with someone else, I think.
Right.
Oh, I was getting him mixed up with Rodimus Prime, my bad, dudes.
Oh yeah, nah, yeah. He's from around here.
All memory I once had is gone. Like, I've had a bad Quidditch accident, you know what I mean?
Right. What we're on about again?
Celebrities were like, how the fuck that ended up on TV license, I don't know. This is the beauty of the Wise Fools Talks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right.
We start talking about celebrities, then went out on TV license. By the way, have they got TV license in Australia? Like, I'd love to know.
Yeah, I'm also curious. I'd guess not. I want to say we're probably the only ones with it, but they do have, like, the ABC, which is their version of the BBC.
Yeah.
So maybe they fucking charge us thing.
Maybe they've got to fucking load up the coffers. Now there's a pay TV, but the rest is free to air. Fucking, that's exactly how it should be.
Exactly.
But do you know when you add it up to, like, fucking Netflix and all that shit, dude? It's fucking, it accumulates to an alright little fucking sum for them, lot, by the end of the month, dude. You know what I mean?
So I don't pay for any of that shit. Like, I'm 100% in favor of piracy. Like, I fucking recommend it to anyone I can.
Aye, dude, 100%. Even, like, when we're right now are, like, comedy scripts and shit like that, as long as we're earning some sort of money, I don't give a fuck if 80% of people are pirating our shit, dude.
Aye, right.
I hope they are, actually, dude.
Aye.
Because we're not getting, like, 100% of the money. Like, see if we got given, like, a fucking money off a channel or something. Like, we're not getting 100% of that money. Like, we'll get paid, yes, which is, I mean, I'm in favor of getting paid, but you know what I mean? So, like, as long as they pay us out of their pocket and I'm not charging people, like, pirate the fucking living daylights out of the Wise Fools for eternity.
Exactly.
Like, or be cursed.
Aye. Exactly.
But celebrities were like...
Most of mine tend to be like fucking voice actors and that. Although I like what's his face, the bald guy out of Star Trek.
Nice. Aye, that's the dude, yeah. Who's that guy who played Saruman out of Lord of the Rings?
Is Christopher Lee.
Christopher Lee, dude, he's a cool dude. He's dead now, R.I.P. to the Lee. But, like, he's fucking, was it? Like, he spoke, like, 5 languages fluently. He fucking was, like, special forces in the Second World War. Had to tell Peter Jackson, what it sounds like when you get stabbed in the back, because he was trying to tell him how to do the scene. He's like, that's not what happens when you get stabbed in the back. This is what happens. Like, the breath is drawn from your body. Like, and this is like the sound that a person makes when they're stabbed in the back. He was awesome. He didn't actually get into acting until he was in his 40s as well, you know, dude.
Yeah, right.
That's what gives me hope, 'cause I've just turned 30, you know what I mean? Like, maybe I will have my own comedy show. And Ricky Gervais as well, dude. Like, he was 37 when he got made redundant and then went into comedy. I'm sure I read that somewhere, dude.
I am Patrick Stewart as well. I don't know how old he was when he started acting, but like fucking, he was in Coronation Street. Like, that was his first like on-screen appearance. Aye, like not as like a regular, but like he was like a fireman in an episode. But he looked exactly the fucking same then as he does today.
Was he bald then?
Well, you can't really tell because he's got the fucking fireman helmet on.
See,
but
because
like,
if he was bald then, if you were like a bald guy when you were 19, and then you never see that bald guy until he's like 43, he's gonna look the same because hairlines going wrong is an indication of aging. So if you never had that to begin with, you're fucking golden, you know. So if you're like an early balder and you go like bald at 19 or you've got alopecia or something, dude, like lasses are gonna love you by the time you're 40 because if they knew you back then, because you know I am fucking age a day, dude.
It sort of makes sense when you think about it like that. Like, wasn't there some kid in fucking when we were in Air Cadets? One of the corporals was like 19 or something, and he was pure bald as fuck. Not like proper bald, but like pure receding like fuck.
He was a fucking weird cunt as well. I remember him as well. Mick Neely, his name was.
Aye, that's him. Aye, like honestly, dude, for ages, like until I spoke to him and found out he was only like 19, I thought he was like 42 or something, dude.
And do you know what it is? He was trying to tell me about him shagging birds and shit like that, and I'm like, dude, I'm like fucking 13-year-old and I know I've blasted more bitches than you, dude. Like, you're the biggest virgin I've ever met, dude. Like, you're fucking in Air Cadets at the age of 19, dude. Like, fucking dickhead.
Like, plus with that hairline as well, like.
Exactly. You're getting knee fanny.
Definitely not.
Another celebrity I like is Tom Hanks. I honestly think that Tom Hanks is the best actor I've ever witnessed.
I've never seen a film I didn't like him in, but I've never seen him outside of films. Like, I've never watched any of his interviews and stuff like that.
Like, in terms of for what he does, like, if you look at his like characters he plays, well, look at Saving Private Ryan and look at Forrest Gump. They're two totally different characters, and he absolutely knocked that role out the park on both of them.
Green Mile as well, he's fucking mint in.
He's good in that. He's fucking good at Woody, at Toy Story and shit, dude. So he's got voice acting. He's up there in voice acting as well, because I mean, Toy Story, dude, you know what I mean? It's a good role. Like the main guy in Toy Story, dude, you would know you're a good voice actor if you do that shit. And it's just his own voice. Or maybe, is that just because he's Tom Hanks though? Like, they didn't pull him up in a random cafe and go, you sound like a toy cowboy, dude. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So maybe
it's
that
gotta
doesn't
be just because of him. Because like, when you look at like I wouldn't consider him a real voice actor for that reason, where it's just his own voice, because like,
he suits Woody though.
Oh, aye, it does, aye. But I mean, when you look at the likes of like Billy West that I mentioned before, like, he's Fry from Futurama. I think he's both Ren and Stimpy. If not both, he's one or the other. He's also Zoidberg and Professor Farnsworth in Futurama, plus like several other characters. He's got like loads of like different voices in it. I'm pretty sure he was either cow or chicken or both of them.
That makes sense.
He's the red M&M.
I do it. Like, in terms of voice acting, he's good. There's only one person I would say that's got a better range than him, and that's Mark Hamill.
No, he's better than Mark Hamill, I'd say.
Nah, I disagree.
Like, I haven't listed all of the things he's done because it'll be the entire fucking podcast and next week's and the week after.
That's fair enough. However, Mark Hamill's, he was Luke Skywalker and Star Wars, right, dude? Which is a massive
he's
role.
Pretty good.
Like, OG. And if you actually look at him from skips from the regular show to the Joker and Batman, but maybe it's just because I'm more into the shit he's done, actually. You know what I mean?
Like, if we're going off sheer like amount of like different things that they've done in different voices, and I'd say Billy West would be higher.
I was talking about sheer quality.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm not
like,
shitting on your dude. You know what I mean?
Aye, same. Like, he's still definitely up there.
Like, he's the only person that popped in my mind that could rival this guy. You know what I mean?
And I might even say, if you say, for example, that they're top three, I'd probably even put Mark Hamill second and have John DiMaggio third, even though I know a lot more John DiMaggio characters than I know Mark Hamill characters.
My other celebrity that I really like is Ozzy Osbourne. First of all, it's a fucking miracle he's still alive. Like, every year comes by, like since I was 25-year-old, every year I thought, now in the new year, the first thing I think of is Ozzy Osbourne's going to die this year. That was 5 years ago and he's still going strong. Plus, I've seen a clip that he's done this year with singing with Black Sabbath. Still does it, dude. Still does a fucking amazing job, dude. And when I had the privilege to go see Black Sabbath's farewell tour in Leeds, do you know when he was just talking in between songs? I couldn't understand a fucking word he was saying, dude. But you know, as soon as the song started, I thought I was in the 70s and 80s again. I'm saying again, I was never there to begin with. I mean, today and specifically, I'm 1,000-year-old, but ask us next week, and you know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like,
okay.
it felt like I was in the 70s and 80s, man. As soon as he started singing. He's fucking amazing. And do you know what it is, though? Like, all the shit he's done and all the shit he's been through. Not once I feel he was ever a bad guy.
I don't really know enough. I mean, the most I know about him is from his autobiography, and that's going to be pretty biased towards him being the good guy in it. You know what I mean? So,
like, from what I've seen from him, like, especially since, like, with the Osbournes reality TV and shit. If you, like, that was the only ever reality TV worth watching. And, was it? And if you listen to like the Osbournes podcast and things like that, like he's done like things that could be deemed as bad, like he was banned from certain states for a while and shit like that, but you know, deep down in his heart, I don't feel like he's ever been a bad guy. Like, I don't think there's much hatred in him.
Like he does things that are like, you know, maybe like he got arrested for pissing on the Alamo, which is like pretty disrespectful to whoever considers that sacred. It's some Texas versus Mexico thing. I don't fully understand it.
Aye.
But like, it's not like inherently evil. You know what I mean? He was just drunk and saw a building and thought, I'm gonna piss on that. I've done that countless times. You know what I mean?
Which is acceptable. At least 90% of the buildings, if not more, on Earth.
Aye, exactly. I mean, if you get caught doing it, you still get a fucking bollocking. And
like, I got caught pissing on home bargains alongside James in the police quarters, and was like, I hope you're not pissing in my fair town. And I went, nah, dude. And he was basically telling us, like,
in your corrupt town.
he was basically turning around and saying, like, I've caught you doing it. I'm not going to do anything. Like, but just watch what you're doing, sort of thing, which is fucking fair enough. You know what I mean?
It is, considering I know the home bargains that if it's the one in Jarrah, like it's pretty fucking open on all sides. Like, there would be no way if I used to be pissing on that in a concealed spot.
And it's really good lighting around there as well.
I probably do. Like, why didn't you just go into the tunnels near Martins or something, or the bushes or something, or under the bridge or any? There's a ton of places to piss around there, and you chose up against home bargains. Was it on the window as well? I wouldn't even be surprised.
Wait, the shutters were down, dude.
For fuck's sake.
But can I just say one thing, right, dude? Me as a human, right, dude? We've got more rights than animals. So if a dog can literally fucking piss and shit wherever the fuck it wants, as long as the shit's picked up by its owner. You know what I mean, dude? So why is a dog allowed to piss on home bargains and not me, dude?
I seen something the other day that was on about like the reason that you don't piss in the street is because of such and such a fucking thing with something to do with like contaminating the ground and all this bollocks. And I'm like, I'm sure it's just because of indecent exposure. Because, like, find me one lamppost in this entire country that's not stained with dog piss around the bottom.
100%, dude. And I trust, like, my urine more than a dog's urine, dude.
Same.
But
although
shit,
dogs only drink water.
I don't know, dude. Striker had a beer on his time.
Well, like the odd one or two. It
wasn't like he was all the fucking time. I get what you're saying, dude.
But like they're not like I don't know, that like they don't really drink now gross. Apart from, I don't know, like they might eat someone's puke or something. They do eat some gross. Like they don't care about what they drink. They only drink water because we only give them water. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and they don't give a fuck. maybe that's only you. No,
I hope it is, dude.
Fucking-
I'm the first guy to ever give a dog beer, dude. That's an achievement. I hope you're fucking right.
no, I'm definitely not. Like, I've seen it happen in other households, but
Shit, you got me fucking hopes up for fuck all, dude. I thought I was somebody. Now I'm back to being a nobody. The spooky meatballs just said they're okay. Sorry, my eyes got bad after 4 years. You're not going to get any sympathy from me. My eyes have been bad for 30 years, dude.
Aye, right. It's fucked. Like, I don't envy you for that. Like, I love having working eyes. I use them every chance I get, every single day, at least once.
I think it's a fair price to pay for the other gifts I've got.
Such as?
Like, a lot of people like us.
That's true, aye.
I've got this
I'm
thing.
always surprised, like, when people don't.
What, don't like me? And do you know what it is,
like
dude?
when
It's
I've
always
introduced
seems to be
to you, you
people.
know?
It's always people you introduce to us that like introduce people to me. It's always them lot that don't like us. Like that dude Thompson fucking hates us. Like he's like he doesn't hate us, but he's got this fucking he paints this picture of us every time he sees us. That I'm like some fucking ruffian. You know what I mean?
He reckons you're a pure Raji, doesn't he? Like, in it 3 times he's said, yeah, oh, I thought you were some Raji or something, or I thought you were some Chava.
And it's all for something stupid. One says it was a jacket. The other was the fact I was in a van.
Aye, right. And I was also in that very same van with him. Like, dude, I fucking love that in the van though, because like this guy, we're meeting this guy, and like we're in a van, and we'd parked like sort of like facing outwards from like some seating that was like behind the van. He came walking over and didn't notice we're in the van and just went and sat behind it. And we're sort of sat there for a couple of minutes seeing if he'd realise. And we're like leaning out the window going, Thompson! And then like going back in the van and that, and he's been like watching him in the mirror, Pierre, looking about confused as fuck. You know, and they say when your life flashes before your eyes when you die, and that, like, that's a moment I'll enjoy again watching. You know what I mean?
Mine would be watching this kid called James Wardle fall over on PE, dude.
I didn't see this event, but I know that guy, and I can imagine him being hilarious to fall over because he looks like a weeble with legs.
Do you know what it is, dude? He's one of them where, like, it took him so long to fall because he was running at the same time. He was just slowly tilting forward. You know when Michael Jackson done that thing? He was, like, doing that, but well running until eventually he fell over, dude. It was fucking class.
I do love it when people fall over, like.
It's like I was, back in the day, I was reading into a band called Sum 41, and there's this like line in it that goes, we don't know this at all, we laugh when old people fall, but what do you expect with a conscience so small? Like I did. I remember my mom telling us off once because this old lady fell over like with her shopping. And it's not anything to do with her being an old person. Like, I'm not giving her privilege because she's old. Like, I would have laughed if that was a young, healthy 18-year-old.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, how is it not funny because she's an old person? Like, she's probably got more experience at falling over than anyone else. So she's more equipped to handle it, you know what I mean?
You should have learned how to walk by now, Doris.
You're damn right, dude. Like, and my mom was like, that's fucking disgusting. I'm ashamed of you and all this shit. And I'm like, I'm ashamed that you're not finding it fucking funny, you stupid cunt.
Aye, right. No mother of mine. You're disowning her, innit?
Aye, right, dude. Like, I love me mom, but fucking, that was bullshit.
Speaking of mothers and people falling over, I remember one time when my mom fell over, but it was like, it must have been about 8 or something, and like, I'd got a skateboard and a fucking plastic ramp from August for my birthday or Christmas or something. Like, I was daring me ma to have a shot of it, and she tried to like sort of drop in on this little kicker, and she literally fucking, because she's quite fat, me ma, like, she literally fucking bounced on the ground, dude, when she fell over, dude. I was fucking in stitches. There was another time I was laughing at her as well, you know, the fucking, you know, where the swans are in Shields, that where you can get
Marine
the boats
Park.
and I like, went on there. Like, I was rowing this boat about, and then when I came back, like, time to go, like, to the thing, like, she was getting off, and she did that thing where, like, you've got, like, one foot on the boat and one foot on land, and the boat starts drifting out, and she ended up, like, falling in the thing, and I was, like, I must have been about 6 or 7 years old, and I remind her of it, like, every time I remember.
Right, dude. Like, that's the most disgusting water to ever fall in as well, because it's literally just the porridge of fucking goat shit. No, not goat shit. Why did I get mixed up between swans, ducks, and goats?
I've got no idea, dude. I've never once seen a goat in Shields. But it is pure monkey water. Like, that's sort of added to the comedy for me, because it was always like, I want to see someone go in there, but no one ever will go in there, because it's rank, you know what I mean? And then she fell in. I was like, ah!
Finally, it's happened to you.
Yeah, right. It was like, because like I say, I was pretty young at the time, so like I dare say that was probably the funniest thing I'd ever seen at that point.
The hardest I've ever laughed, where it was painful, right, dude? I was going on a skiing trip with the school to Austria, but it was via coach, so it was like a 36-hour drive. Well, like we drove on to the ferry, but to Calais. This lass she puked up in the hallway, like in this glass hallway, so we were sitting down and could see her. And the amount of people that she just was sick and then walked off, and the amount of people that was slipping in her puke was fucking hilarious. It was like choppy water, so people are unstable anyways, but they were slipping up in it. And honestly, dude, I was crying, thinking like I need to fucking move from here because it's hurting us. Like I nearly had a 6-pack. I nearly had a 6-pack purely from fucking laughing. Everyone that's actually seen is like, I've never been close to a 6-pack ever in my fucking life. That was the closest I ever come to, dude. Like, honestly, me abs were going fucking, they were burning, dude, of just fucking pure laughing at it. Because you're not just slipping over, it's in some fucking dude's puke, you know what I mean? It was fucking hilarious.
I hate it when people just sort of, like, suddenly puke as well, and I've only seen it happen, like, one person one time and then one person multiple times. One time, like, I was in French class in school, and this luckily it was on the other side of the class, and I managed to, like, evacuate the room pretty quick before I spewed as well, because I'm really like sensitive to that shit. If I see someone else puke, I'll puke as well. And it was just out of nowhere, like it was all like dead silence. Everyone's writing down in their fucking books and that, and then all of a sudden she just goes all over the fucking desk in front of her. And like it was fucking grim, dude. I was out of that room fast as fuck.
Right, dude. Like your shadow remained you a lot quick.
Aye. Bro, I was like the seats like still spinning and that, and a pure dust cloud of us and that. The other guy was like a friend of mine in Thompson's, nicknamed the Chunder King, because he just always fucking puke like at every given situation.
I'm so glad I'm not like that.
I same, dude. Like sometimes he'd just be standing there and fucking he'd just wait you out of nowhere. And I'm like, what's fucking wrong with you, dude? Like, you know, that it would be really annoying because he would be standing there or like sitting about like smoking a joint, and he'd get the joint and he'd have like 2 or 3 off, and then he'd puke, and then he'd have another couple off and try and pass it to you, and it's like, I don't fucking want that shit anymore.
What a fucking bellend, dude. Like, do you know what it is, dude? That's bad etiquette, that. Like, I'm sorry. I know it's meant to be a fucking light-hearted podcast, but you're a fucking dickhead if you do that shit. Like, I know, I'm aware of that. As soon as you mentioned it, I knew where it was going, dude. That's fucking bullshit. Yeah. Like, who's gonna fucking do that, dude? Like, I purposely, if I'm sharing one and passing a bone around, dude, I used to not spit until it was done.
Aye.
Until I knew like, I wasn't getting it back, dude. Because you want to provide it the driest thing. Who's gonna puke and then have one on and pass it on? That's
yeah,
bad. That's bad etiquette, that, dude.
Aye. And like, if I say, for example, if I in that situation felt like I needed to puke, I would pass the joint and then go off somewhere else and do it in the bushes or something, or in an alley. I wouldn't, but he would literally just like turn around, like his feet wouldn't move, just turn his top half around and fucking whitey right there. I was like, yeah, that's disgusting.
This is the expectations I have from other people being sick, right, dude? Being sick has the same rules as shitting your pants, right, dude? Like, if you don't make it to the toilet, it's no different to not making the toilet and shitting your pants, which no one wants to do that. So if you try to, that's enough, you know what I mean? But
exactly.
Is he gonna stand there, shit his pants, have another talk on, and pass it on, dude?
Well, just like talk it out of his anus as well.
Exactly, like. Dude. What a fucking dickhead. And this is a guy that fucking judges me for having a van, dude, and he's friends with the likes of this cunt.
Aye, right. Proper. We used to get, when we used to get drunk and that, we always used to like, he'd be like sort of leading the pack and we'd be like following him. He's off on a mission to find somewhere to fucking puke again. And we'd just be following him, but chanting like, you know, like on AC/DC Thunderstruck with the but saying Chunda instead of thunder.
Right.
And fuck, but like just marching all the way through town behind him, like chanting it like.
Chunda! I was
But so-
born in the middle of a railroad town. Lies our parents told us.
I like, so obviously you've got the obvious ones like fucking Santa and the Easter Bunny and all that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
But like, you know, the daft ones like fucking like if you eat the crust on your toast you'll get curly hair or whatever.
Aye, or you can see in the dark if you fucking eat carrots.
But that one was actually fucking
It was
in the Second World War.
it was to
weird
tell the
and radar.
Germans. Like that's why they were asking like British soldiers why do you know this? And it's because we eat carrots. It helps you better to see in the dark. But it's not. It's because we had fucking radio.
Radar.
Radar. I prefer radio.
Not when you're looking for Germans.
Nah, dude, but if you want to listen to some fucking tunes, tune into the fucking Y Schools 288.9 on BBC
FM.
Newcastle. Actually, not. Fuck off, BBC. I've just told you. So fuck off.
Aye. Not paying me radio license either.
Oh, yeah, fuck yous.
But I would like one of the daftest ones for me was because I'm scared of spiders, right? And my granddad was like, "Oh, you're scared of spiders, but you leave the toilet seat up all the time, and that's how they get in." And bearing in mind, right, this wasn't even when I was a child. This was when I was like 17 or something. And I was like, one, that's not how they get in. And two, there's like big gaps in there anyway. Like if they can get in through the holes in the fucking brickwork that you don't even feel a breeze through, they can get in through the gaps in the fucking toilet seat. Like how am I meant to believe that?
I would never, even on my most drunken state, believe that statement. Never would I ever believe it.
Like it makes no sense whatsoever.
Why is every spider dry then?
I don't know. I don't pay attention to the wetness of them.
It's certainly not from swimming in toilet holes.
Aye, right.
You know what I
don't
mean,
seem to
dude?
like the water, like, because there's been a few, like, whenever there's one in the bath, I'll, like, pour water on and try and wash it down the hole, and they really don't seem to like the water, so I can't imagine it coming fucking around the U-bend and getting through that.
Deliberately doing it, dude. Like, bearing in mind they don't like it, and that's because it was forced upon them. They're not going to fucking go in there doing it. Fair enough, they started doing breaststrokes and not doing this. You'd be like, maybe it happens because they enjoy it, you know what I mean? Of course.
Like, I've never seen one just lounging in the bottom of the toilet bowl like it's in a jacuzzi or something, you know what I mean?
Exactly. To relax in water, you have to look to the sky, and spiders don't like looking in the sky. They're always looking at walls.
Is that true? I don't know. I mean, I guess you're right. Like,
Have you ever seen a spider turn on its back on purpose and look to the sky and lounge? It's the last thing to do. If you put a spider on its back, it's instantly struggling to not be on its back.
There's also, like, when you see them on webs outside and they're sideways and they're, like, sitting in the middle, they're usually facing the ground as well. That's a weird...
And the most comfortable you can be in water is just doing this. And just floating. Spiders don't enjoy that shit, dude. Spiders hate the water, and they never crawl in toilets. Never. Unless someone put them in that situation. Something else. They never intentionally got themselves there.
I think if there's ever one in there, it's came in through the top, like it was already in your house. From some other method of getting in, and then it's gone in through the top.
100%, dude.
I don't think it's fucking swam up like pure scuba diving through the fucking thing.
One for me is they make it out as if lying is something only kids do, whereas like I've never witnessed so much lying as an adult by other adults. Like kids lie less than adults.
And with kids, it's usually daft shit as well. Like fucking, they'll say that they only ate one bar of chocolate when really they fucking sneakily had a second one. You know what I mean?
100%. Dude.
That's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
I exactly thought who stole fucking the heirloom to the family, and it's fucking Uncle fucking Conrad. There's no such thing as a child uncle, nearly. You know what I mean? One of them for me is, did you ever watch The Bear in the Big Blue House when you were a kid?
I did, I used to love it.
My dad told me that his job was the bear and he was in a costume, right? And
oh wait, your dad was the guy in the costume?
Yeah, he told me that was him. So one day he had to fucking take us to work, right? And he forgot that he told us. And I was like, well, where's the moon? And he was like, what do you mean, where's the moon? It's daytime. I went, well, fucking, you film it through the day because you're out the house during the day. You're not filming it on night time and all that. So where's the moon? Where's Luna the moon? And he was like, shit, I fucking told this little punk that I fucking big blue house, haven't I? So he was like trying to convince everyone else in the office and shit, because this was before me dad was a joiner. He actually worked in a place called Via Systems at the time. He used to make like circuit boards and shit. And I was like, well, where the fucking, you know what I mean? I didn't mention it through the whole car ride back. Like, not like a 2 days, sorry. And I was like, I'm like,
you're excited as fuck, Luke.
Nah, dude, I was a bit pissed off because, like...
No, I mean excited on the way there, like when you had to go to work with him.
No, but I'm saying I was a bit pissed off because I didn't like the fact that was my dad's job, right?
Why not?
I just didn't like it. I just didn't like it, right? I was like, my dad's here to entertain me and my sister, and that's it. You know what I mean? He's out here entertaining every child in the United Kingdom, dude. I didn't like it, right? So that's why I come in with an attitude, right? I'm like, well, where's the fucking moon? He was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, where's Luna on the moon? Like, you fucking taught the moon at the end of every episode. And he was like, oh, shit, I fucking told him I was in the big blue house.
It's funny as fuck, dude.
And I was like, you fucking... Like, and then he was like trying to convince everyone else. And obviously, I still left there thinking he was the bear in the big blue house, right, dude? But I was pissed off because he was like, "You're fucking my dad. You're not one else's dad. And you're fucking out here, fucking thingy." You know what I mean?
Wait, how did he keep you convinced that he was still the bear, even though you didn't get to see the moon? You didn't get to see the costume. You didn't get to see the.
Because he got everyone else in the office involved in it and shit.
Oh, what? Like he got them to say, like, "Oh yeah, that's what we do," kind of thing.
Because he shit himself because I called him out on it. He forgot he told us, you know what I mean? Nah, he was a fucking... Now remember going back on, you're not the bear for me, you're the bear for everyone. Like, you know what I mean? You should just be the bear for me and me dad. I love you. You know what I mean? And then, bear in mind, I didn't get to see Moon. I didn't get to see him in the costume. Of course, I'm going to be pissed off when I leave.
I understand you being pissed off when you leave. I just don't understand you still believe in it.
Oh, yeah, I should have. I was really young, by the way. Like, I was like fucking 6.
Well, I obviously, yeah.
But obviously, like, I was pissed off because at the time I was into the Nintendo 64. And, like, I'm, like, pissed off that I've got to go to his job. But then... I remember he's the bear in the big, and I was like, well, maybe I get to see the moon, Luna, because I didn't realize it was not an actual moon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I knew it wasn't our moon, but I knew the studio had their own. I thought the studio had its own moon, and I remember looking around going, there's fucking no way this is where the moon is. You know what I mean, dude? What other lies have your parents told you, dude?
I don't know, but one thing I did believe when I was a kid wasn't necessarily my parents, right? But when I was like maybe 8 or 9, I went to like karate lessons. The pure, you can't use this in a street fight and all this.
Well,
and
what
like,
the fuck's the point?
I know. But the way they go on is like sort of, you can't use it because you'll accidentally kill someone and go to jail for life and all this kind of thing. But really, you can't use it in a street fight because it doesn't fucking work. That's the problem. Like, you ever seen anyone get into a fight and fucking be chucking karate chops and that?
Well, I've always had this belief, if someone untrained in any sort of fighting, which normally the people who antagonize fights have only ever had street fights, if you're trained in fighting of any kind of martial art, you have got an advantage over them. However, other martial arts are more effective than others. Like, I think against an untrained dude, Muay Thai is probably the strongest martial art you could ever known. However, if you're fighting other mixed martial artists, then Muay Thai is actually one of the worst. Not for throwing kicks and shit like that, but if you use their genetic stance, like, and someone takes you down jiu-jitsu wise, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why it's called mixed martial arts. You've got to pick the best defensive one martial art, but then use the best offensive another.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
That's why Wing Chun's like not used in MMA, because all the things in Wing Chun's actually banned, like eye gouging and shit like that. Like a lot of eye gouging and shit like that's in Wing Chun, because it's like a wartime martial art, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, just defend yourself at any cost. Have you ever seen Ip Man?
I've seen all of them, dude. They're fucking amazing.
It's fucking class, innit? Forgot about them films until you just said that.
Aye.
On about Wing Chun and that. Unreal films.
amazing, absolutely fucking outstanding. And I'm not like, and I've said on the podcast before, right? I'm not one of them where I'll listen to music in another language because if I don't understand what they're saying, I'm not fucking interested. And I'm the same with movies. But even if that didn't have subtitles, I would enjoy that film.
You know what it is? I watched the first one and it had subtitles, and then I was looking for the second one, and it turns out I was actually watching the third one, but it had no subtitles, and I still just watched it in Chinese, and it was still a good film. Not as good as when I went back and watched it with the subtitles and understood what was actually the crack, but you could still tell the main story. Like, it was the one, the one where he's fighting that American boxer. Like, you can still tell what the crack is, you know what I mean? Like, he's some bad guy, big bad American, reckons boxing's better than fucking martial arts, gets his ass kicked.
Aye, right, big style.
That's universal language, you know what I mean? You don't need to be able to fucking...
you can just sense the situation, can't you, and make your own judgment.
Exactly,
It's
Whereas I don't know if I can necessarily do that with, like, Apocalypto. I think you need subtitles on Apocalypto.
Oh, fucking 100%. I wouldn't have a fucking clue what's going on.
Aye, proper.
I wouldn't know what was going on until the end when the Spanish arrived. Then I was like, finally some decent people.
Some decent but like, finally something I know, and then end credits straight away.
Aye, right. Do you know what's so like historically inaccurate, right? Why the Spanish didn't blow now when they just dropped the things and walked towards them? Like, the Spanish would have blew their heads clean off.
Aye, fucking too right.
In real life, they're like, who the fuck are these? Like, they've just been chasing this fucking guy. They've just dropped the swords, but they've had swords, so the warriors muskets, dude.
It is. That is pretty stupid. Like, it would have been a pretty crazy ending if that's what that had. If that's what that had done.
Aye, and then he had to then run from the Spanish. Anyways, though, dude, for the next subject, we've got Roman numerals. Why the fuck are they still being used?
Beats me.
Do you know what it is, right? If I see a number in Roman numerals, I've got to Google what that number is.
I do when it sort of gets to, like, when you're watching, like, at the end of a film and it's got, like, it's like M, D, X, I, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what M and D is and that, but if it's just X's and I's and V's, I know all of them.
Do you know what it is? If it wasn't for GD, I wouldn't know what the 5 was.
Really?
Aye.
I've always sort of known them because, like, for years, like, literally until, like, this month, there's always been a clock in my kitchen that had Roman numerals on, so...
Aye.
I've just always known because of that.
Do you know what's mad, right? Like, I'm the fucking most wrong guy to speak about this, despite me putting this very topic in. And maybe this is why I'm so against it, is because, do you know, like, me telling the time? Know who taught me to tell the time?
The bear in the Big Brew House?
Nah, dude, James.
Aye.
Because I used to struggle with it in school really bad, dude. I could not tell the time for a long time. James taught me how to tell the time as another child. Like, he done a better job than a fucking teacher whose job it was to teach me that. Like, James taught me as another child in fact, younger than me, technically.
By like fucking 6 months or so.
A good few months. He taught me how to tell the time better than a fucking teacher in a classroom. Like, they could see that I was clearly struggling with it and just left it. You know what I mean?
I had someone recently as well waiting for the bus, and it was standing like next to the fucking cathedral, which has a big fucking clock right on it. And some kid, like, he looked about 16, 17, was like, yeah, what's the time? And I fucking had headphones on and that, and I spoke last time about don't be bothering people with headphones on. He was like, fucking, what time is it? And I was like, there's a clock up there. And he was like, I can't tell the time. And I was like, fucking, how have you made it this far? How are you not late for this moment in your life if you cannot fucking tell the time? How have you made it on time to bother me?
Like, you don't deserve the concept of time if you don't understand the concept of time.
Right.
But do you know what is though, dude? That hits home really, because if it wasn't for James, that might have been me.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
I still reluctantly told him, so you can take solace in the fact that you would have found out, but it was with a dry, sarcastic tone.
Nah, I would have done that as long as you told us. Like, I just don't understand why there's still a thing. You know what I mean? Do you know how, like, pirate ships aren't a thing anymore? How are we still using things that are, like, way more outdated? A pirate ship?
It doesn't make much sense, like, does it?
Like, why are they still relevant? Like, we've clearly come up with a better system.
Yeah. In terms of, like, time as well, one thing that used to trip me up as a kid was the whole 24-hour thing. Like, if it's, like, 17 o'clock.
Where you just subtract 12. Like,
I
know what's mad? Like, I never struggled with time since James taught us it.
Yeah.
Like, I was good at 24-hour digital or what, unless it was Roman numerals. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck's gonna sit and learn that shit? You might as well learn how to speak Egyptian through hieroglyphics.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it's outdated. You just don't do it. So why is it still a thing to this day?
Exactly. Like, if you go to fucking Egypt now and say to someone, I read, guy doing this, they're not gonna have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
Exactly. 100%. Or a cat or someone's peddling something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Who the fuck does that shit anymore? Roman numerals need to go fuck themselves and get fuck out of the way. But like, we're literally fucking, we're at the age of fucking virtual reality and shit like that, and we've still got the audacity to use that shit, dude.
See, I'm not necessarily in favour of getting rid of them, but I would also learn Latin simply for the fact that nobody else really speaks Latin. Like, that's the only thing that entices us to learn a language, is that no other cunt speaks it.
Wait, no one speaks Latin, so why use the numbers that the Latins used?
That's also true.
You know what I mean? Like, why is it still a thing to this day?
I dare say for some things, like the timestamps on films and stuff like that, I think it's like, because it looks more classic, you know what I mean?
Nah. I think, do you know what it is? I think the hatred from me stems from, like, because I like history, right, dude? And I think that the history of the country we live in only got interesting once they fucked off. Like, history got interesting once they fucked off. Like, it was boring when they were here.
I don't know why that'd be the thing that they leave. I mean, they left plenty more than that as well, like fucking plumbing
Hadrian's
and all
Wall.
that. Yeah, that as well.
And the whole town of Bath.
Aye.
Like,
Which
that's
the
probably
people
the
who
most...
decide they pronounce wrong.
Aye. They go Bath.
Bath.
Saying that, if you say Bart as in short of Bartholomew, you're saying that wrong in the same sense then, but spelled the same.
No, Bartholomew's got an R in it.
I believe you call him Bart.
I've got no idea what you're talking about, dude.
Nah, me neither. I think I fucked up big style live.
Having a fucking bout of dementia or something.
I know, dude.
It's that grey hair's getting to you.
I know, dude, I'm a fucking 100,000 years old, man. You forget things from time to time. But one thing I wish I forgot and everyone else forgot was fucking Roman numerals.
Aye, right.
One thing that makes me nervous, that shouldn't, right, dude? Cartoon food.
Aye.
Mainly,
like in what way?
Mainly anime. Like, I watched this, like, anime lady, right, dude? And she fucking was preparing this meal. And I didn't understand what the fuck she was cutting up and shit like that, because it did not look like any food I've ever fucking seen before in my life. Like, I'll tell you what, I 100% wasn't a carrot. You know what I mean? So, it made us so nervous because I didn't know what the fuck she was making. And I was like, this is so fucking like, this pisses me off so much, and I'm so nervous. You're going on like it's some beautiful dish that you're making, but what the fuck is it? What is it?
Right.
I've got a clue in one ingredient that's there. I don't know what the fuck it is that you've just brewed. Like, what the fuck have you just done? Like, it could have been like rat's tails or something, as far as I know, dude. Like, what the fuck is going on?
There is one actually that I've just remembered. When I was like maybe about 6 or so.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Chuckle Brothers?
Aye.
Like, I used to get pure scared watching them, you know, like
really?
fucking because like they'd be like hired to do some job for some guy who always seemed like a pure dickhead, right?
Aye.
And they'd fuck it up so badly, and like you just know for a fact they're gonna get in trouble from this guy when he comes back because he's a pure dickhead and he's gonna fucking give them shit for fucking up the job that he's hired them to do. And
but even if he's not a dickhead, he's got every right to be pissed off. So they're giving him every like ammo to fucking be pissed off at them.
But there were also dickheads on top of that.
Which amplifies it.
Which adds to the existential dread of the guy coming back and fucking the guy coming back and fucking, you know, giving them shit, telling them off and all that. Like, I don't know, it just probably used to freak us out. Like, it felt like I was about to be told off as well.
Was it? There's one thing that used to make me nervous was like before I could drive, like I used to get the metro to work, and this was when I still live with me mum and dad. It used to make us nervous looking at the metro because sometimes it was so packed, like it was impossible getting on. It used to make us nervous because it's like, do I have the audacity to try force myself on? Yeah, like clearly some of these people before us and the ones close to the door, they've literally done exactly the same thing, but they're going to be pissed off at me for doing so. Or am I going to be late for work?
See, I think you've got a right to be nervous about that because you're genuinely experiencing a bad situation. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I think everyone hates that being crammed on the trains. How you seen it in Japan as well, where they've got people at the station employed to just shove people in.
They're mental, innit, dude?
Proper. I couldn't be dealing with that. Me, like, you know what it is? I'll just walk.
Aye. Do you know one thing I've always wanted to do if we ever like stoop so low to do pranks, right? I'm standing at the metro and I've got one of them like inflatable fat suits, but like realistic. And I'll wait for the metro coming in, and I know if I fucking fat this be packed, I'll just press the button on the door to open. And I'm like this, right, dude? And I just go and slowly walk towards them as if like,
Right.
you know what I mean? That's me revenge on the people that I used to open the door to them and be like, oh, you're not getting in here. But now I'm this big and I am still going to get on here. You know what I mean?
Do it
Sometimes
like
I used to just-
on a match day, dude.
Aye, right, dude. Wear Pierre Sheffield Wednesday jersey and just go.
Yeah. Dude, that'd be funny as fuck actually. Like, say, like Newcastle are playing against fucking, I don't know, some random team from wherever, and you wear the shirt of that team, but like wait at like Felon, where it's gonna be packed like on the way to the match, and you just get on fat as fuck with this shirt on.
You're pushing people to get in and on. Help me, fucking.
Aye, proper. You should try and pick somewhere that you can do the accent of as well.
Aye, right.
And so you can pretend to be one of them.
I hope we ever play a Glasgow team. Although I would never wear Celtic tops, it would have to be Rangers. Like we play Rangers, playing out the fucking load, man. Out my fucking load. Scottish people suit being fat better than any other person that ever walked the earth as well.
Much more so than Americans, and Americans seem to have the record for it. Like,
Scottish
I'm
are
big fan of
strong
Illuminati.
fat people. Like they're fat, but they're still a noble person. Whereas American fat people are weak. Like they are weak, and that's why they're fat. Scottish people are fat because they're strong. Americans are fat because they're weak. That's the difference between American fat and Scottish fat.
so, have you ever seen that guy? I think there's two of them. I think there's like two big, like super morbidly obese twins.
Aye.
And there's this one of them that like falls off the back of a golf cart. Have you seen that?
Aye, and he's like, ow, ow, ow. And it like it was barely fuck all. Like I've had worse of scooters.
Aye, like a Scottish person would never go on like that. You know what I mean?
I'll be like, I want a belt. I just fell off the fucking. You know what I mean?
Well, they'd probably be having to go at the driver or something, Pierre, originally. What the fuck you doing, you fucking dofty?
Aye. What you done, you wee bastard? You fucking. You just spun me out the fucking car.
Right.